What's up, gamers? Welcome to Gamer Rant. My name's Kevin. Today's episode, I'm giving you my top 5 anticipated games. I'm going to be giving these in reverse order, so I'm going to start with number 1, working to number 5. And basically, the further along we get on the list is basically the last two are, they're not 100% guaranteed. They're kind of like 50-50. And that's mostly because one of the game, the publisher, the developer, technically the developer, had a bit of controversy with one of their launches. And then ironically, Capcom has controversy right now. So one of the games is also by Capcom. They have some controversy surrounding their DRM. There was also, ironically, controversy surrounding the first game that we're going to be talking about. I think it had to do with microtransactions. Can't quite remember. Too lazy to look it up because it's irrelevant to today. So with that being said, let's jump into my top 5 anticipated games of 2024. Coming in at number 1 is The Sandland. Now, apparently this is based on a manga, which I kind of Googled the manga and looked through it. Looked relatively interesting. One thing that stood out was the cel-shaded. I like cel-shaded graphic games. I ultimately have felt that they seem to age a little bit better than your standard 3D graphics. For example, some examples of this is like Dark Cloud 2 from the PlayStation 2 era. Dude, that game looked massively beautiful even into the PS3 era. Maybe still looked even beautiful into the early PS4. Maybe in mid, late, it started getting a little bit choppy with the better, technology and televisions, etc., etc. Nowadays, it still looks pretty good, especially if you don't put it on a giant fucking big-ass television screen. We jump into, PS3. You got Borderlands, cel-shaded graphics right there. And there's a few other RPGs that were also released cel-shaded. They still look pretty good even to today. So, yes. The fact that this game clearly has cel-shaded graphics, I'm on board with that. And when I saw it, it kind of gave me these Blue Dragon vibes from the Xbox 360. Ironically, fun fact, I only bought an Xbox 360 because of Blue Dragon and Lost Odyssey, which were 2 RPGs exclusive to the 360 at the time. That, of course, then led me to play like Fable. Not really Halo. I'm not much of a gunny kind of guy unless I'm killing zombies or something like that. I know, cliche. We all have our cliches, all right? You like your Halo. Some people like their Call of Duty. I like killing zombies. All right? Anyway, let's check out number 2, which is Visions of Mana. Ironically, I didn't even know what this game was when the trailer was playing. I just looked at it from the visuals. I mean, look at this. I think that's cool looking. And from the trailer alone, I was like, I'm getting the game. I don't even know what the fucking title is, but I know I'm going to get it. The trailer's not even done playing, and I'm going to get it. And then it was like Visions of Mana, and I was like, oh, I've never actually played a Mana game, which is kind of ironic, not even any of the older ones. So for anyone that has played the Mana series, what's your favorite Mana game below? You can also recommend any that you would like. Doesn't matter if they're on the original, like Nintendo, Super Nintendo, etc., etc. I mean, if they're quite expensive, I'll just save the money up and get them, because that's how I roll. All right, so yes, Visions of Mana. Coming in at number 3 is Rise of the Ronin. Just watching the trailer, it really got me into it. Plus, I did really like Ghost of Tsushima, so this looks like it would be a little bit different, at least in retrospect to like Ghost of Tsushima's storyline and whatnot. And I'm just hoping that it turns out that it's really sweetie peaty. Okay, so like this, like the first 2 here is pretty much like 90%. I'm gonna get these. This one's probably at like 60-70. It's just really based on if there's any kind of negative controversy surrounding the game. Overpriced microtransactions, active DRM for the single player, pay to win, pay to make it easy, blah, 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 blah. The other 2 are more like a 50-50. Okay, so coming in at number 4, ironically, is the developer for No Man's Sky, Light No Fire. Now, I ultimately feel that hopefully they've learned their lesson from their launch of No Man's Sky. The only thing that I'm preparing myself for is that this is going to be a giant open world, the entire size of a planet. So no different than No Man's Sky. You can walk all the way around a planet, fly all the way around a planet. That's basically this premise, but without a spaceship, okay? So hopefully they could have some kind of faster mode of transportation, because I think just even flying would take a person a while if they wanted to fly around the whole freaking world. But yeah, hopefully they've learned their lesson. I'm also kind of hoping that they've learned their lesson from their crappy story that is in No Man's Sky. And hopefully they give us a better narrative. They really dive into the culture and the history, into the little races that they've created. I do like the fact that there's a bunny race. I like the fact that they didn't go the standard normal of elves, dwarves, that kind of thing. So I'm going to give them props for that. But like I said, it's 50-50. I'm going to probably wait and see. That's not to say that I wouldn't pre-order it. Like if there was a cool collector's edition for this and it came with something cool, I probably would pre-order it. But then once the reviews came out, as long as the reviews came out in a timely manner that would allow me to cancel the pre-order, if I didn't like what I was hearing or seeing, I'm like, I'll just get the standard edition later and check it out when it's on sale or something. So yeah. With that being said, let's jump into the last one, which is Dragon's Dogma 2. Now, ironically, I've never actually played Dragon's Dogma. I did recently buy it on Steam because it was available for like $5. And yes, there was some controversy back in the day when the first Dragon's Dogma launched. I think it had something to do with microtransactions. Not 100% sure. Capcom, they weren't too hot back in the day when the original Dragon's Dogma came out, okay? So I have liked what I've seen. I did play a little bit of Dragon's Dogma on like the, I think it was the Xbox or PlayStation, can't remember which one. And I did enjoy what I did play. So I bought the PC version of it so I could play through it. And then to see if I would even like the overall gameplay and the style. And like I said, from what I did play on one of the consoles, I did enjoy it. Number 5, Dragon's Dogma 2. Number 4, Light No Fire. Number 3, Rise of the Ronin. Number 2, Visions of Mana. And of course, number 1, Sandland. I hope you enjoyed my top 5 anticipated games of 2024. You can comment below what your top 5 anticipated games are below in the comments. Hope you enjoyed this video in some fashion or form. And remember, gamers, if you're not voicing your thoughts and concerns about the bullshit in gaming, microtransactions, loot boxes, DRM, pay to win, pay to make it easy, all that fun stuff that we just love, you just might be a part of the motherfucking problem.